My name is Sarah Segar. I am the founder of Experiential Learning Depot, and I want to tell you about these 3 amazing free experiential learning resources that I have for you. And these resources kind of came about because of a very popular question that I get from people, which is, what are some experiential learning activities I can do with my students? People are really looking for examples, inspiration, ideas. And so if that is you, among other things, if you're just simply interested in experiential learning or need some guidance, these free tools are for you as well. But what these free tools do is really help you hone in on an experiential learning activity or approach that works well for you and your students, as well as really helping you manage and facilitate these experiences. So let me show you what they are. There's 3 of them. The first one is this quiz. Shrink myself down here a little bit. It's a quiz that will help inspire experiential learning activities for you and your students to do based on the information that you give it. Are you able to leave the classroom with your students? Do you have a really full class or is it just a few kids? Do you have materials to use? Each of these elements are really going to help figure out what experiential learning activity is a good fit for you and your students. So I'm on the last question here so that I don't have to walk through the whole thing. And based on my answers, I am suggested self-directed project-based learning with my students, which is not surprising. That is what I do with my students 99% of the time. It is very experiential. It is my favorite. It's so personalized. I love it. Okay, so the link to this quiz is going to be sent directly to your inbox as soon as you put in your name and your email. So do that and then use this link over and over and over again as many times as you'd like, anytime you're ready for an experiential learning experience for your students. The next piece, the next free part of this, is an experiential learning activity mind map. So once you have an idea of an activity or approach you want to do, let's say self-directed project-based learning, this mind map is to help you really iron out the details of that, to make sure that your approach is really experiential in nature. So experiential learning has a clear purpose. You should be able to tell students why they're having this experience. What is the purpose? That's super important. Are students actively involved? Is it personalized? Does it embrace failure? And basically what you do is fill out these boxes following these guiding questions to help you make sure that this experiential learning activity is in fact experiential. This is a digital version. There is also a paper version of this. So that is the second freebie you'll get. The third freebie, and my favorite, is this formatted experiential learning activity spreadsheet, which is to help you facilitate and manage and implement these experiential learning activities in your classroom. Your job as experiential educator is no longer teacher. It is facilitator. So you may have 20 students doing independent projects from one another that are self-directed and personalized, and you need to be able to manage those and keep track of those, as do your students. So let's say they're doing a project-based learning experience. The different activities have separate tabs down here at the bottom. Up top here is each of the checkpoints or elements that students will need to walk through to complete a project-based learning experience from start to finish. You put all their students' names in here, and as they complete each task, you can put a check mark in there, write some side notes if you need to, and this is really to just help you stay organized and help you keep track of your students' projects, what they need, offer them feedback, and so on. So these 3 free tools combined are really the trifecta of making experiential learning not only fun and engaging, but successful and meaningful for everyone involved. So if you have any questions for me, please reach out at experientiallearningdepot@gmail.com. I can also be found on Facebook. We have a Facebook group for K12 educators. And I'm on Instagram and Pinterest and all sorts of other places. So reach out anytime. I would love to hear from you, especially as it relates to these free tools. So sign up, get your freebies, and start experiential learning.